Good morning. Frankie says good morning too. Hi, baby. Oh, my baby. You're such a good boy. Coconut oil on my hands from putting my moisturizer on. And I think he likes it. So, good morning. I do want to say that I haven't gone through my messages today, but I do want to give a shout out because I'm so grateful about the conversations we've been having through the comments section. It just so warms my heart. Dinah, Carol, Linda from Hot Humid Florida, I get it. Anna, way over there. Rose, of course. Mwah. Denise and Diana. Oh my gosh. You ladies have been so supportive, so encouraging, and so brave in sharing some of your own joys and challenges. And I will tell you that you can put someone in individual counseling compared to group counseling. And if they're in the right group and have a good facilitator, hands down, people grow faster in a group. Frankie, enough. He looks like, what, not me? He's getting a lot better about listening to me. I'm going to share something with you that a lot of people will open up and share in group, but it's very hard for them to open up in individual counseling for. So that's why it's good that I kind of know what to look for and kind of help draw that out. When people have been victims of domestic violence, victims of stranger danger, victims of war, whatever, when we've been a victim, very often victims become perpetrators. Maybe not to the same extent, of course, but it has been proven over and over again, people will behave what they learn. So especially if it was obnoxiousness and intimidation when they were young, like myself, the alcoholics I grew up with were obnoxious, physically violent, verbally violent, sarcastically, and twisted funny, right? So if you can take the good things out of that, which I feel like I have now, but when I was reliving it in my young adulthood, I was probably 50% as bad and sometimes could shoot up to 80% as bad. That's why it was important for me to learn the anger scale, apply it to me, like take the anger scale, see what it was describing. You can get them on the internet, and then apply where my anger could match up to that scale. So I could start moderating myself and start battling on a physical level, physiologically, my mind mapping and my physical reaction, how I was behaving and projecting myself, needed to align with who I was trying to be, who I presented I was. It's very hard and weird to be a helper and be a hypocrite. Yeah. For people to be able to do that, that's a level that I can't relate to. I don't have enough narcissism to do that. I take it very personally if I'm living up to my own expectations or not. I'm going to use Old Reliable. This is, like I said, this is that mixture. I really like the Revlon Color Stay. Where are my glasses? And when it ran out, I really liked the pump, so I wasn't willing to give it up. I was using the normal dry formula. And it has SPF 20 and number 110. That was one of my favorites. I don't know anymore. I haven't used it in ages, but I have kept adding foundation to this bottle for so long. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and use my little magic mixture, see how it goes. And I have been going for a little more color lately. Just to see if it doesn't make me feel more alive. A little more color. You know, I used to hate putting on foundation until I realized that every time I gave myself a little massage, it helped reduce my stress. So I take putting on foundation seriously. And I don't worry about putting it on perfectly the first minute. Unless, of course, it's the foundation that dries quickly, like full coverage. This is more moisturizing makeup, so it doesn't dry so quick. And I have it on top of that coconut oil. And one thing, too, is if it's going to oxidize with the warmness of my skin. Like, when I was a girl, CoverGirl did that a lot. Oh, God. Makeup was so orange on me back in the day. I didn't know anything about makeup. I just got it from Osco's. I called it a day. Oh. Yeah, once I get it massaged in, then I'll take a look at it. That felt good. Not bad. Okay, so anyway, going back to the victim-perpetrator cycle, there's a weird little glitch in the brain that says, oh, this was a shirt I was going to wear outside, and it's going in the giveaway box. It is too tight underneath my arms now. Washed and dried it one too many times. Usually I hang almost all of my clothes to dry, but it was such a hot, humid summer that I just didn't do a lot of hanging to dry. I've got to figure that out this next year. Anyway, back to me and trauma. So there is a glitch that happens in the brain that when you take enough stress from somebody else, like you're taking on their stress or their energy that big, right? And then you have to react, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. You start being able to negotiate how you're going to react quickly almost all the time because of brain mapping. Now you're on the ready, especially if it's gone on, if it was something really big, a couple big things called big T's, big trauma, versus little T's, little traumas, because all those add up. All the little T's add up, right? So that's why nobody's personal trauma, it doesn't matter what the picture looked like. In reality, what matters is how it impressed you. Because there are some people who can go through some of the same things and come out with the knowledge and direction that they want to work on their trauma. And some, and I experienced this for a while, is I have every right to be trigger happy. I have every right to lash out. If you were treated the way I was treated, you'd have this attitude too. If you knew my life, you'd be drinking too, you know, that kind of thing. I have every right to still Post-its and paper clips because I was so poor growing up. Not all the thoughts are always right up here, but they're back here. If you slow down, as you're slowing down with meditation and breathing, meditation means simply being so quiet that you can hear, right? Or you're doing something that gets you in sync with your own tuning fork. Like for me, it's working in the yard. I have things, anything that's inside of me lifts up and becomes more clear to me as I'm working in the yard. And I can stop working and work through it. I love working in the yard. So the deal is that over time, and as our dedication and commitment grows, walk and talk. I gotta get ready for work. As our commitment grows to self-improvement, wanting to live our life before we die, we start getting more strict with ourselves. Our ability to stop, drop, and roll. Stop fighting, pull back, and then play the tape, roll the tape on where it is this is all coming from, right? Like, oh, where's this coming from? Oh, it's an old feeling. It's a habitual feeling. It's a very familiar feeling. So if you can just stop, pull back, and sometimes you have to say, hey, I'm out of control in my head. I got to go take a minute, but I'll be back. And go back. I know it's not easy to say it that nice. But you have to practice, right? Because we don't want to keep throwing emotional bombs. We don't want to keep reliving the past. So we go get a minute, and then we start go through all the old tapes, all the old videos, and go, where is this feeling coming from? And then process that. There's lots of stuff on YouTube about how to process trauma through the body. Patricia Thiel has a wonderful book that was written in the 90s called Courage to Change Yourself. I still keep copies so I can give those away. Or I used to when I had my office. Now I just have one left, and it's mine. I might have another one somewhere. Anyway, excuse me. I am using a lot of moisturizer. So I'm getting fallout under my eyes. I thought it was from my eyeshadow. I think it was from my mascara. I didn't order waterproof. I don't have any waterproof mascara right now. And usually when it's dry, I don't have to worry about it because I had that eyelid surgery that kind of took the worst part of my puff out. When I had my eyes done, I said I didn't want to look like, oh, the typical woman who's had eye surgery. So I just wanted the biggest part taken out. They did a phenomenal job. It looks so natural. This is what it looked like when I was in grade school. Because my puff was where it was really bad. Anyway, I always had to use waterproof because my eyelashes would always leave black marks up on my eyelid. I can't wait to get this shirt off. Ugh. Anyway, I've been getting it down here, which I have puffiness down here, which I've been trying to massage down, but I think that's part of age. So anyway, I think I'm gonna have to get some waterproof mascara. Okay. Let me put some powder on. I think that'll help too, just a little bit. I love powder. I love applying powder. It's like putting spices in your food. That's why I'm not a very good cook. I love putting spices in food. In soups and roasts in the crock pot. And then the next thing you know is like inedible. God, how many spices did you put in here? I don't know. It was just so fun. Okay, so anyway. If you ever get confused on what you're doing with your makeup, just go top to bottom. Or bottom to top, but I tend to go top to bottom. So I'm going to do my eyebrows. So we got the foundation on. Now we're going to do the eyebrows. This will be fun. So anyway, so as we learn that we too can be obnoxious, whether we feel like we have the right to lash out or not, we have to decide to stick to our guns that we had, our truth as a child. Our truth as a child is no one has the right to treat someone like that. It's cruel. It's damn mean, right? Look at Holly Hoppy doll. So we have to make a commitment to ourselves that with or without our troubled past, with or without past injuries, to be committed to being the best person we can be. And I can tell you, the truth is, the feeling of all that adrenaline and cortisol that helps us feel powerful and mad and build us up, that's a powerful cocktail right there. Very powerful. That's the truth. I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, this is easy. It's not easy. Especially when you've done it for years and years and years, right? Sometimes it feels like the only way to get relief. We start believing the lie that being angry is a right. Well, it's an ability, not a right. Those angers, that kind of big anger, is supposed to only be reserved for life and death situations. So our life-saving techniques are getting way overused. Way overused. And sometimes we just have to make a decision on whether that's truly okay for us or not. I have decided it's not okay. I've decided to, just put a little light brown powder under my eyes. I feel like I need a little more eye today. Okay. Now, darker eyeshadow. Okay. Darker eyeshadow. So sometimes the discomfort of, get the fattest part of my eyelid first. See? Takes a lot of dedication. I can tell you it's not easy. But it improves over time. Anger management online, or sometimes when you just get a book or something. That's why I like Patricia Thiel's book, Courage to Be Yourself, is because she made it so clear in her book that this work is not easy. And a lot of people are like, oh, do this step, do this step, do this step. And it's good information. It's solid information. But they overgeneralize to the point where you think it's supposed to be fairly easy. And then if it's not easy, then that exercise isn't for you. Well, it's not true. Trying to retrain the neural pathways is hard, because everything in your body, like a good addict, and we talked about addiction in the last film, whatever video, and body will fight change, even if it's good change. I don't know if you've ever been poor and gone to fairly well off financially, or fairly well off and then lost a bunch of money. Well, I've done both several times, and I can tell you this: the brain gets used to a certain lifestyle, certain behaviors. Oh my goodness, look what I did. And it's hard to change, whether it's food, drugs, sex, shopping, even just lifestyle, it's a big change what you see when you wake up in the morning. The food's available to you. The place is available, financially or not. Anyway, just reinforcing that, yes, change in the brain is very hard. So when these books make it sound so easy, or these workbooks, if you've come across a good workbook that's really worked for you, let me know. Okay, now it's cheeks, working my way down. Gotta put some cheeks on, because I'm so rosy here by nature. I'm only gonna put it up here. So I woke up and this happens to us sometimes. I'm not the only one, and I know that. And I think that's important for a lot of people suffering with trauma, is that as you're recovering and doing your work, that you recognize that you are not alone in this challenge. Holy cow, no, you're not. Not at all. Not at all. What am I going to use? I'm going to use my typical. Oops. What the heck did I just do there? Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm going to try to... See, I'm too manly when it comes to putting on lids. I do it too tight. It's not the first time I've ruined a lid like that. As I've practiced self-awareness and I've done my work over the years, I'm more in tune to when, for instance, I wake up in a bad mood. Some people, I am a cheerful person in the morning. I cannot help it. However, if I do wake up in a bad mood, it's clear to me, very clear to me, what's going on. Finally throwing away some makeup that I don't use. I got this goopy paste eyeliner. Don't like it. It doesn't dry up. It's too moisturizing. I bought 2 of those from Temu. And then there was this cover up. I'm not poor enough to make this work. And I bought some empty containers from Temu. So yeah, I'm off. Did I tell you I deleted that app? Yeah, sure did. Nickel and dime me to death. And here's another one. It's a color eyeliner gel, but they just don't dry up enough for me. That's why I use powder, because it dries. And then also, what did I get? I have some Wet n Wild liquid that I dug out of my makeup drawer. Just opened it up out of the package, and I'm gonna use some of that this week sometime. See how it goes. I forgot to bend my wand. Maybe that's... There we go. That makes it easier for me. I don't know why, it just does. I don't remember who showed me how to do this. I think I saw it on some cute TV show a long time ago. Oops. There we go. So anyway, back to me. I woke up in a pissy mood this morning. I mean, holy cow. I woke up and I was already mad. I mean, I felt it in my body. So I laid in bed for a little longer. I let Frankie out and went back to bed and shut the door and went back to bed. So he didn't get to cuddle up with me anymore this morning, which is unusual. Usually we have cuddle time before we go out and play. And I laid there and decided to pray, you know, something simple like, dearest Heavenly Father, please make me aware of what I can do to be full of love and light and lead people in your direction. I fell asleep. Because I was going to say, and if there's something I need to know, please put it in my path so I can take care of it as soon as possible. Well, I finished that sentence when I woke up. Then I was mad again. I'm like, gosh, I'm mad. What is wrong with me? And then I stopped. This is important. And I stopped and said, wait a minute. Nothing's wrong with me. I just woke up in a bad mood. Big deal. Now, what can I do to be careful to not bother anybody with it, right? Well, if I'm in a bad mood like this, sometimes because of the things that I do, I can get out of bad mood pretty easy. This was one of those bad moods that I knew it was going to take a while. You're not going to believe this, but I decided to stay in bed a little longer. I went, did the morning potty, came back to bed, and I got my head up on the headboard just right and kept doing it back and forth to massage the back of my head. And I must have laid there for about half an hour, just kind of in gentle thoughtfulness. Some people call it prayer, but just in like breathing, setting the tone, the pace for my day, and recognizing it's okay to have woken up with something going on with my brain chemistry that got me in a nasty mood, and that I could change that into a gentle mood simply by pretending. And I know that. Oh, but that's not being the real you. It doesn't matter. See, that's that trauma bonding thing we do with ourselves, is you have every right to be in a bad mood if you want to. Quit trying to make me be a fake person. You know, that whiny little, well, here's the deal. You're not going to change your brain by thinking it through. Sometimes you have to behave your way through. That's why there's cognitive behavioral therapy. That means thinking your way through and then doing the next right thing. And then there's behavioral therapy, where you behave your way to the next. Nike used to be really big in behavioral therapy. A lot of military are. You just do it. Whatever it is, you just do it. If you don't think through it, someone says jump, you say how high. You just do it. You don't say, well, how high? Why do you want me to jump? When now? Well, can I do it later? Shut up. You know, just do it. Relax, breathe, force yourself, right? It's the only thing that's helped me is because I'm a thinker. I'll tell you what, I'm a thinker. I'll overanalyze a brown paper bag. That's what I grew up hearing as a kid, which is funny because it was supposed to be a put down, but honest God, sorry God, using your name in vain here. I never took it as an offense. I always thought, well, yeah. Oh, I'm such a dork. Yeah. Hey, you remember that show Mary Hartman? Mary Hartman from back in the 70s? Maybe it was 70s. It didn't last very long. A season or two. Most people didn't relate to it. It was, but I related to it sort of like the Big Bang Theory is one of the things I really appreciate about the Big Bang Theory is they did their homework. The stuff that they wrote on their whiteboards and the science stuff they were talking about were real. And so I would hear some of it and I'm like, they did their homework. I love that. So here's the deal. I know I got to get into the office. Dang it. I want you to know that I appreciate you, every one of you, so much. And BX Gal, I want to hear more about what you got going on, girl. You're living the life. Anyway, anything that I share with you is just off the cuff. It's not scripted. But when I talk about how hard it is to grow up sometimes, how hard it is to keep going in that direction of, having the best death as possible. Man, I don't want to die being unhappy. Even if I were a prisoner, I'd want to try to get my mind to a place where if I died, I could be okay with me, not with them, but with me. I know that sounds dramatic, but this world right now is taking me to places I don't want to be. And I have to really work hard at blocking it out sometimes and just stand and take care of my own little world. It's not like having blinders on and being here, because it gets in. It gets in. Even if I don't watch the news, it gets in. I can't not watch the news at all. At all, ever. Even if I just watch it once every week or two, which I feel like I have to do to be able to be up to date with my clients. The old reactions I would have would be fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, to try to deal with that underlying angst. Because sometimes we don't know exactly what we're upset about, right? It just comes. So when we slow down and make a list of all the things that could possibly be bothering us, look at that list and go, yeah, it's probably bothering me a little more than I thought it was. Forgive myself. I forgive myself for being upset about those things. And then refocus in not denying everything's going on in the world, but by staying in my part of the world and doing the best I can in this part of the world. That's it. That's all I can do. Really. If I'm so mad about all these big things and I don't have the power to do anything about it, that's insanity, right? But I can do my best in this part of the world. I'm not going to have time to do my hair, so I'm going to have to figure out how to best lay this mess. What am I going to do? All right. I think I could actually... Okay. I think I could actually do that. All right. Hey, I love y'all. I do have to get to work, though. I think I'm going to have to... I have the curling iron in the other room. I might have to do something with this guy. I need to trim my bangs probably again here pretty soon. All right. I love you. Keep those comments coming because you help keep me stable. This world is crazy and we need to be here for each other. And I love you. Bye for now. Oh, bye, Frankie. Bye, Frankie.